Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Fallen here for Sputnik Entertainment, and yes, we're making another video on Mercari. I mentioned to you guys in the previous videos is that the only reason I would make another video on Mercari is that unless if a big update came through. Well, we've been having a lot of great updates in the past few weeks, and I thought I would highlight them for people who are potentially interested in selling on the platform. So first of all is the seller dashboard. Now, this was not something that was part of the platform when I first started selling on them, and it makes it seem like a lot more professional seller user interface, similar to what you might see on platforms like eBay and Amazon. Gives you a bit of an analytical perspective of your performance, the funds, etc. But let's walk through them. First of all is the available balance. So you have the full available balance, which is in my case right now is $292.90 and $228.60 that are in process, meaning it's tied to orders that are outgoing. The customer hasn't received them yet, or they haven't been fulfilled yet because of the weekend being in place. And of course, after the customer receives the order, they have 3 days to examine it, make sure it's what they bought, make sure there's no problems, and then the funds get released. In addition, you have a listing of all your active listings. So right now I have 117 active listings, 24 inactive, and 33 orders in progress. That includes the orders that already have been shipped but haven't been delivered or examined by the customer, or if there's just haven't been shipped yet. So it kind of bulks them out. In addition, you can download sales reports and the help center. So if you need it for tax purposes or if you want to just have it on your system, you can download that as well. Action items, if you have any unread messages, I do try to respond to messages pretty quickly. That would pop up here. And 12 sales requiring action, that could be a combination of if there's an issue with an order, orders that haven't been shipped yet or haven't been delivered, etc. And let's go into the account statistics component of things. So your account statistics are actually updated every 24 hours, as you can see on the bottom of the page, and last updated 7 hours ago. So if you're interested in keeping track of your metrics, do keep in mind it's not like every sale or every couple of hours they're updated. It takes a little bit of time to populate it and kind of makes sense, especially if you're doing a lot of sales. They don't want it to kind of overwhelm the system and kind of create a mess out of it. Also, keep in mind, you can also narrow down by the last year, last 30 days, 7 days, and 24 hours. So if you want to take a look at the performance in the last 7 days, a month, year, and 24 hours to see how you're doing and compared to other times, you definitely have the option to do. But for this video, I'm going to keep it at all time. I've been selling on them for about 4 months now or so. So making some decent money so far. And like I told you guys, I've been in the shipping business over 5-6 years now. And like I said, I did enough to support myself at one point in time, and I'm slowly working my way into it. Not one of those online gurus that's going to try to sell you a course about making tens of thousands of dollars on Amazon a day, and especially on Mercari, because Mercari is a much smaller platform, but it's a great alternative, or it's a great secondary selling marketplace if you're interested in starting an e-commerce or an online selling business. So over here you have your full revenue, which in my case is $2,006 even. And if you click on the information, total gross revenue generated from sales, profit is $1,805.40. And my best guess, even though I haven't looked at it, that's after their fees, which kind of makes sense because they take 10%. Net income generated from sales after subtracting shipping expenses and selling fees. So I never use Mercari shipping services. I have my own partnership with USPS, and it becomes much cheaper for me. Total items listed 284, and that is total numbers of listings created historically, including inactive listings and deleted listings. Now, I'm not sure why it keeps track of deleted listings and inactive listings. You might want to keep track of that metric. It's a metric I would never use long term. Completed sales, total number of items sold, of course, excluding transactions currently in progress. So keep in mind, so the ones that are in progress are not part of this number. So I do have a bunch of listings right now in progress, and they're not part of this number. And let's go into the performance component of things. So you have your AOV, which is average order value, the average price of your sold items. In my case, it's $16.30 per item, and my best guess is that they take the 2006 or the 1800 and divided by 94. That's how they come up with that number. Your average listing value, the average price of your listing, including inactive listings and deleted listings. So that's also an interesting metric. STR, sell-through rate, the percentage of items sold compared to your available inventory. So it tells you how many listings you put up versus the amount of listings that you have sold. In my case, it's roughly a third, which makes sense because we're constantly updating our inventory, and sometimes we sell very niche things that it takes a little bit of a client to come through for it. Search click-through rate, the number of clicks your item receives per number of impressions. So right now it's 3%. Impressions is over 1,000 impressions a day, average number of times your listings appears on search results, which is a pretty good number. I mean, we don't have the biggest listing catalog, but meaning that if, let's say, a person is looking for flashlights, we have a couple of flashlights for sale, and then that's how our listing comes up, is that they just come up in the search results associated with it. So that tells you that your item is actually being looked for. Now, does that mean that your item is going to be bought? Not necessarily, but at least it gives you an idea that the items that you're selling are actually being searched on Mercari. Item views, 38.89 per day. So once again, if someone searches for a particular item, let's say with the analogy of flashlights, and they're scrolling through and they see your flashlight, well, one of those views will come from that. Item likes, that is something Mercari specific, the whole liking and bookmarking component of things. Average number of likes your inventory receives, 1.6 likes a day. Not sure if it kind of matters long term, but it kind of also tells you that you are selling items that are popular with the buyers that they might potentially want to come back to in the near future. Return ratio of 0%. Now, Mercari does not have a great return program for customers. Oftentimes, if a customer does want to do a return, Mercari does pay the seller and then reimburses the buyer. So that's how it usually works, is that they keep the funds that the buyer initially paid for the item, and they just reimburse the buyer on top of it, which is a nice feature. They could have just washed their hands 100% clean and said, hey, no returns, no refunds, etc. Now, is that something that is going to change down the road? We will see. And to give you an idea, the percentage of orders returned by buyers, once again, not something Mercari is involved in very much right now. Cancellations, the percentage of orders you cancel compared to the number of sales. So actually, I'm a little bit upset about this because I've never canceled an order. Mercari canceled on my behalf when I never authorized that to happen. So hopefully we can fix that in the near future. Shipping time, that is something I need to work on a little bit. It's 103.61 hours. Do keep in mind you do get three business day window to technically ship your items, so which is 72 hours. So I need to bring that number down. Response rate, the percentage of messages from buyers that you responded to, and my average seller rating is 4.81 out of 5. Sometimes you get a 4-star. I have a couple of 3 stars because people are being a little bit impatient in current situations, but there is so much you can do what's going on in the world. Mercari does want you to have a high response rate. I'm not sure what that percentage is, but they're pretty much saying that you should respond to every single message that you get from customers. Sometimes it doesn't make sense for you to respond. And oftentimes I would respond to the buyer to like, hey, the conversation is over. And then they still send you a response. And then you're left with this whole issue. So hopefully Mercari is going to be working on that valid solution to kind of like say, hey, If you say goodbye, doesn't mean to say goodbye back to them and they're going to say something else in response, and it never ends the conversation. Now, the one thing I'm most excited about is that I'm going to pull up a random order. I don't want to scroll up to give you a full information on a listing, but it's a Xbox 360 peripheral that was purchased from us a few days ago. I do not want to dox our customer, but this is what I'm showing you guys, is that they added a messaging component to the platform. So now you can actually reach out to your buyers directly. Beforehand, it was close to impossible unless they reach out to you first to contact the buyers to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, I'm sorry, we're experiencing delays, or hey, I just want to make sure this is what you ordered, or any sort of clarifications you need to provide to the buyer. You have an option to do so, and this is an amazing feature, especially for sellers, because things happen, things come up. Maybe you have an issue that you can solve, but it might require a little bit of time, and you don't want to have any problems with the buyer, create any sort of confusion. Now, I do hope that they add this to the mobile interface as well. Right now, it's not possible. It's right now on the desktop component of things, but it would be nice to see that you can contact the buyers through the web browser. So big props to Mercari for incorporating that. And I don't want to talk too much about this, but they started a quick competition. They have a Star Student Sweeps, which is running August 2nd through 9th, and you can win $500 and Mercari credit. And what you pretty much have to do is, because the back to school season is happening right now, a lot of kids are going back to school, and if you list items in tech, art classes, and a couple different categories that have it. So if you list computers, tablets, Bluetooth headphones, smartwatches, cameras, artwork, crafting, you guys can read through it. I don't need to do so. And if you post your listings August 2nd through 9th, you qualify for a potential sweepstake for it to be up and running for a $500 Mercari credit. So 5 lucky people are going to win. Now, I'm not sure if it's fully randomized or they're going to be picking out maybe some of their top buyers, but I do not want to speak on behalf of Mercari. But they're trying to get more and more buyers. That's their biggest things, and more sellers on their platform, overall creating more traffic, which makes sense. And for $2,500, it's definitely a great incentive. So you can receive up to 15 entries. So we recommend listing items from as many classes as possible. So that is pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be taking part of it. Am I going to win? I don't know. But if I do, you guys will know if you stay in touch with me on social. That's where I would announce if I win or I don't. Speaking of social, if you want to stay in touch with us on social, all the social links are in the description. We have tons of content coming up for you guys this week. And once again, let me know what you think of these Mercari updates. Are they worth it? Are they something that should have happened a long time ago? Have you had a chance to play around with them? Would love to know. Either leave a comment or let me know on social. And if you want to be part of the notification squad to know when a new video comes out, click that subscribe and the bell button so you can be the first one to watch a new video. Remember, new videos coming out Monday through Friday right now. Hopefully in the next month or two, they're going to be 7 days a week. So that's something we're working on behind the scenes. It's a wrap, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.